Are we truly ready to gamble it all, Dub Nation? To put our championship hopes on the shoulders of a rookie? Because after a season where our big man situation felt like a revolving door of question marks, the latest whispers from inside the Warriors camp are enough to make your jaw drop. Are we about to commit to Quinten Post as our starting center, giving him the keys to the kingdom and a monumental vote of confidence that feels either incredibly bold or incredibly reckless? I'm Trace Mistake, but you can call me Moose, and you're locked into Falcons today. But today we're dissecting a Warriors rumor that could shake the very foundation of our team. Get ready, because this isn't just about a roster spot, it's about the entire philosophy of our franchise. For what feels like an eternity, the big man position has been the Golden State Warriors' Achilles heel. We've cycled through veterans, explored various archetypes, and still, that elusive starting caliber center, especially one who can truly space the floor next to the incomparable Draymond Green, has remained just out of reach. It's why the offseason has been a flurry of familiar names. We've heard the whispers, seen the reports linking us to established talents like Brook Lopez, the sharpshooting big man from Milwaukee. There's been talk of Nikola Vucevic, the versatile center from Chicago, and even the towering presence of Kristaps Porzingis from the Boston Celtics. The assumption has been clear. The Warriors would go big game hunting, acquiring a veteran who could plug that critical hole and immediately contribute to a championship contender. But, as always with this unpredictable franchise, there's a plot twist. A curveball that's left many of us scratching our heads and wondering if the front office is either brilliantly ahead of the curve or teetering on the edge of a colossal miscalculation. The latest buzz suggests the Warriors might bypass all those big names and instead make a truly audacious call, leaning heavily on young center Quinten Post. Now, let's talk about Quinten Post. His rookie season was, by all accounts, impressive. A late second-round pick, he showed flashes of genuine promise, particularly with his shooting stroke. But then came the playoffs, and the narrative shifted. His form was a bit underwhelming, his impact somewhat limited, as the opposing defenses of the Houston Rockets and Minnesota Timberwolves specifically targeted and contained his perimeter game. It soured the impression for some, dampening the excitement around his potential. However, the latest reports from two highly respected insiders, Anthony Slater of The Athletic and Tim Kawakami of the San Francisco Standard, indicate that the Warriors are poised to grant Post his ultimate wish, a significant, potentially starting role in his sophomore year. Kawakami, during a recent appearance on the Warriors Plus Minus podcast, put it bluntly, I don't think it's going to be a stretch five now. I don't think it's going to be Brook Lopez. I think they're going to try to lean on Quinten Post. Slater, always one to have his finger on the pulse of the organization, concurred with Kawakami's assessment, adding a critical detail. There's a belief that Post is a real knockdown 7-foot shooter, which is rare in the league. And he has the numbers to back it up. During the regular season, Post shot a team-leading 40.8% from beyond the arc. That's elite. That's a game changer for our offense, creating the kind of spacing that unlocks Stephen Curry's magic and Draymond Green's passing. However, as noted, that percentage did dip to 31.3% in the playoffs when defenses ramped up their focus on him. Can he maintain that shooting prowess under increased pressure and consistent starter minutes? That's the million-dollar question. This is where the decision becomes truly fascinating and potentially terrifying. Steve Kerr has already expressed his desire to not enter next season with Draymond Green as his primary starting center. Green's phenomenal, but the physical toll and the need for more traditional big man presence is clear. If the Warriors truly choose to bypass an external experienced option, then Post could be thrust into that starting role, a baptism by fire for a player with limited NBA experience. This would represent a huge risk and a significant leap of faith in such an inexperienced player. While Post's shooting is undeniably a tantalizing asset, he still has a long way to go to become a solid interior defender and a consistent rebounder. Putting so much trust in a second-year player with these defensive question marks would fly directly in the face of the Warriors' stated desire to build a veteran contender, especially after they've invested so heavily in the core trio of Curry, Butler, and Green. It's a gamble on potential over proven performance, a gamble that could either pay off handsomely or derail our championship aspirations before they even begin. Adding another layer of intrigue to this situation is the future of veteran center Kevon Looney. Slater believes that fellow young center Tracy Jackson-Davis will remain on the roster next season, with he and Post set to make just over $4 million combined next season as recent second-round picks. That financial flexibility is appealing, to be sure. But what about Looney? The three-time NBA champion, a rock in the paint for years, a master of offensive rebounding, a quiet warrior whose steady presence has been invaluable to our dynasty. Looney is preparing for unrestricted free agency, and there are already strong rumors linking him to the Los Angeles Lakers. If Looney walks, and the Warriors truly commit to Post as their primary big man, it creates a formidable void of experience and defensive grit. Looney has been our anchor, the unsung hero who does all the dirty work. Replacing that with an unproven commodity is a risk that cannot be overstated. So, Dub Nation, this is the ultimate test of our faith and our patience. Are we ready to embrace the youth movement at the most critical position on the floor? Is Quinten Post truly ready to be the anchor of a championship contending team? The Warriors' clear priority is to find a starting center who can space the floor and complement Draymond Green. Quinten Post's shooting ability makes him a fascinating internal option, potentially saving significant cap space. However, granting Post such a significant role would be a massive leap of faith, flying in the face of the team's veteran contender aspirations and relying on an unproven player to address crucial defensive and rebounding needs. This decision could also signal the likely departure of veteran Kevon Looney. What do you think, Dub Nation? Is this a stroke of genius, a calculated risk that will pay off with a new-look, dynamic frontcourt? Or is it a reckless gamble that could cost us another shot at a title? Let your voice be heard in the comments below. And if you want to stay on top of every single heart-stopping rumor, every pivotal decision, and every dramatic twist in this crucial offseason, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with every single Warriors fan you know. Let's dissect this one piece by agonizing piece.